It's 2:35 local time here, and it should be 7:05 in India. So I begin with today's session. Namaste, everyone. Welcome back to our second day of the workshop on the learning management system Canvas. It is again completely different from Canva because I had a couple more calls coming in yesterday asking if they could do any posters and presentations on this Canvas. Maybe they had been confused between Canvas and Canva without a yes, without the alphabet S at the end. It's another digital tool that is used as a presentation tool, but this is basically a management system that is used by institutions to manage what they do. And an educational institution does educating, teaching the students. So this is basically managing the students and their coursework. So this is Canvas. I insist once again, it has nothing to do with poster presentation or any other presenting app. This is a managing app. So that's Canvas. We are into our second day. Welcome once again to all of you. A very happy Holi to you and your family and to all your loved ones. And I would like to begin straight away with where we stopped yesterday. So I'm moving on to the screen where we are going to join back onto our IDs that we created yesterday. So I'm going to my address bar and I'm going to type Canvas in structure, the same phrases that we typed yesterday, the same words. I'm so sorry. So we've come back to the same login Canvas in structure. So when I'm going to go into the page, if you remember yesterday, we used the try Canvas free to create our account. Now that we have our account created, and I hope all of you sitting here would have at least gone through the video. If you had not joined me live, you could have, you would have seen it. So if you had created your ID, please feed in your email account that you used to create your Canvas account and the password that you put in to create the account and log in to your account. I am sorry, I think I put in a wrong password. So once you log into your screen, you are reaching your dashboard. If you were with me and if you proceeded to create a course for yourself on the dashboard, you would see your published course. Mrs. Deenadayalu, I think you would see your course under the unpublished courses because if I remember well, you were not able to publish it yesterday.
Yes,
Am I right? Yes.
ma'am.
So, okay, did you try, because yesterday we created modules also. Did you publish the module and then try to publish your course?
Ma'am, I believe I saw it in the published one, I believe.
Oh, that's great then. So that means all those of you who created a course with me yesterday, you should see it under the published course. Like in the webinar yesterday, in the workshop yesterday, I created AIEF workshop demo as my course. So if you would have been doing it with a different name, so you're going to see that course on your page. Can I have a yes in the chat box if you see what I see on my screen? Something similar to what I see on my screen. Do you see your course? Yes, Mrs. Seth. Thank you very much for joining me today also. And thanks for your yes, Mrs. Anish. Thank you. So I am going, Mrs. Manes, thank you very much. So kindly click on to the course and let's go into the course and get to business. Now, when you open it up, you saw yesterday that we added up a few course materials. I added a document, a Word document, a PowerPoint presentation, a PDF, and some of you wanted to know if we can add links. So we added link and we started understanding the feature assignment. That was where we stopped yesterday. And that is where I'm going to go now. Now, can anybody, if at all you are watching your screen and my screen, can anybody tell me what is missing on this screen as far as this module is concerned? There is something, I mean, will the student be able to access this module at this point of time as you see on my screen? Yes,
No,
then
there is
how?
a teacher's view. So students view, we have to click.
Okay, if I go to students view, do you think my student would be able to see, if at all there is a student, Mrs. Deena Dayalu?
No, we have to share it before that, I believe.
Is it sharing? What do we call? It is not published, Mrs. Manes. Thank you, Mrs. Balaji. Mrs. Deena
Yeah.
Dayalu, you can see the cross over here. We have not
Fine.
published the module, but you can see all my course content is published. My Word document is published. My PowerPoint presentation is published. My assignment is published, yet my student will not see it because whatever this comes under is not published. So unless I publish my course, my child would not be able to see it. So we will do it at the end when my module is ready. So I am moving into the assignment page. So you can see here, yes.
Ma'am, I had a difficulty with the URL.
Okay.
Pressing the plus button and URL paste karne pe it is not coming.
Acha, I will show you once again. So I'm going to the edit button. So when I go to the edit button, what do you, what do we want to add? Actually, I should not go to the assignment edit. You wanted to add edit, URL in the module. So I have to go to the module. So you can see here, Mrs. Deena Dayalu, there is a plus sign here.
Yes,
you click on the plus, and then when you click under assignment, you see external URL.
Yes, ma'am.
So you click on the URL and over here, you are going to paste the URL and just say add. So did you have difficulty here?
Yes, ma'am. Page name is required.
Or you give any page name. This page name is up to you. Right? It does. Yeah.
All right, ma'am. But once when it was clicked, refuse to connect. YouTube.com refuse to connect is coming.
Okay, so we will look at it towards the end of it, why that did not happen. So now I would like to go into the assignment and finish it. Mrs. Deena Dayalu, I will come back to this once I finish with the assignment. Is that okay? Yes, thank you very much. So we were talking about what are the other features that I can use under assignment. So let's move ahead. This assignment, I was talking about the various ways in which you can take the entry from the child. So it could be no submission. That means this is an assignment where you are posting something for the children. There is no submission, or it is a discussion that you are posting. Online submission is where we have so many options. Now here is where comes the student annotation. So I would like you all to have a look at how this can be used on the course page. Now, if it is going to be student annotation, that means there should be something on which that you want your child to annotate. As I told you, it could be a figure which is based in biology where you want them to label the parts, or it could be a worksheet for younger ones where you just want them to circle the odd or the even numbers, or it could be anything. It could be an MCQ page where you just want them to circle the right options. So you have to attach a file where you want them to annotate. So I'm going to upload a file. So you go into upload file and you upload a file over which, so let me say I'm going to pick this sample paper of grade 9 and I have uploaded the file. It is on this file that the student would annotate. So you have uploaded the file on which the child would annotate, and you are going to say save. when you save it, and when you go to the, let me save it. So you can add any file of your choice. Yesterday, Mrs. Balaji asked, can I just put a white paper on which I want my child to draw? Yes, you can do that. And there is one beautiful feature in Canvas for assignments and quizzes, which is called Speed Grader. You can see it on the right side of the page. As my cursor is moving on to it, it becomes blue. So when you go to the Speed Grader, you are going to see the, you can see the student does not have a submission for this assignment. As such, I do not have any student over here. If at all you have a student, you are going to see the assignment being submitted over here. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up another Canvas account, which is my, the account that I use in order to interact with my children, to just show how you are going to see this feature. So I'm just going to open up one of the courses on my screen. So I'll just go back to show you how it looks like. You can see over here, this is my dashboard. These are all the courses that have been created, and you can see various courses that are being under use by the children. So here, if at all you are going to pick up on any one course, then you can see if I'm going to click on this course, and if I go to my assignments, so you can see the list of assignments that I have posted in the course. Okay, so now if I'm going to click on any of this course, assignment, then you get to know what type of an assignment it is. So let's assume that I'm going to click on current electricity test 1. So this is a PDF upload file, and you can see here the speed grader. Now, this is not an annotate file. This is an upload one. So I just want to show you how you can access this particular file. So this has an inbuilt PDF reader, and you can see here that the child's submission in the form of a PDF gets opened up. You can see here, this is opening, where the child has simply solved a very small numerical. And how can I evaluate this? You can see you have a pen over here. You choose the color of the pen, and you simply correct the, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm going to pick up the red color, and you can see here, I'm going to just put a tick, put 2 marks if you want, or you want to delete it. You do not want, you made a mistake, delete it, and you say there is an error over here. But the only thing you have to do is, you see there is a tick mark after your annotation. You are annotating on it, you are correcting it. If you put a tick mark, it gets saved. Now, apart from that, do you want to leave any comment? So I go to click on the text box. I'm going to leave a comment over here. So I will say, be careful in, converting the units, or whatever is your comment you would like to leave. So when the child is going to open it, you can see here, there is a line that goes from here to the comment. So if the child is going to click on this circular button, then a circular mark, then the child will be seeing the comment against this particular annotation of your page. Now, if you want, you can delete this. If you, assuming that you do not want it, you just click on it, you say delete, and it gets deleted. You can see here, I am deleting the comment as well as the annotation. This is a speed grader where you move from one child to another child to keep correcting. This does not get downloaded. It is already a corrected paper. You can see here, I have corrected the sheet and I put the marks. This is a paper out of 10 marks, and you can see I have put 9 marks for the child on the side. I have given a comment to her, very well done. right? And you will see the time when the child has submitted on 17th December at 5:46. So you get to know the time when the child has submitted it. If it is beyond your submission time, you know that the child has made a late submission. So this is a beautiful feature. Kindly do not, mistake me for going against any app on the web, but this is one of the drawbacks that many of my teachers face with Google Classroom, because there is no inbuilt PDF reader. But I was told yesterday Microsoft Teams has it. I hope it is in a similar fashion. So, and this does not get downloaded into your system, neither into your system nor into your drive. It is with Canvas. So it does not affect your system memory space in any way. And this is how you can do your annotations on the assessment that is collected in the form of PDF. Now you can see here, this is an uncorrected document. So I'm going to show you once again how I am doing it. You can see the pen that is here. I select it. I select the color that I want. Somebody is asking me something. Yes, thank you very much, Mrs. Rani. So you just pick up your pen and you are going to correct it. But I would like to say something, teachers, over here. I'm actually using an interface between the laptop. I'm using a writing pad which is connected to my laptop. So the tick comes out as you tick with make a tick mark with a pen on a paper. But assuming you have a touch screen, you can also use your, finger to do it, but it becomes too tight. Too thick. I'm so sorry. But if you have a pen which is attached, most of the teachers will nowadays have it because that's more easier to write on any screen. So you can do this anytime you feel that you do not want that particular annotation of yours. You can simply select it and delete it. So that's how you can go about with PDF and Word documents that are being submitted. But I would prefer you take it in the form of PDF, because PDF occupies lesser space, and at the same time, the reader makes it very easy for you to yeah, thank you very much. So it's because of the pen. I even write with the pen. So it looks, it looks very good to the child. It does not look very bad, or, sometimes our writing also doesn't come out very good. So this is one thing that is good about Canvas, where the PDF reader allows you to annotate on it, and you can see child after child. You see your class average over here above. You can see how much is the class average for that particular test. But this is a classic example of what you have to tell your students before they submit. Like if you see here, you can see that the scan is a little, it's a little poorer than the previous scans, and it becomes a little difficult for us to make out whether the child has put a negative sign. Is there a decimal? Is there no decimal? So make sure that your child checks the PDF document before uploading it. Otherwise, it becomes difficult for you to correct it. So this is one kind of submission. I'm going to give you a 60-second break, and I'm going to ask you if there are any doubts in this particular feature of accessing the PDF files that your children have submitted. Kindly let me know. Otherwise, we move into the annotation part of the PDF. Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing any message in the chat box, so I'm moving on to my dashboard once again, and maybe I will pick up another child's assignments. I'm going back to assignments over here. This is a grade 12 class. Let's see if I see any. Okay, so we move on to the speed grader over here. So let's see what type of a submission that I have taken over here. I do not remember what it is. So once it opens up, right. This is an annotation. Can you see this, friends? This is a page where I have uploaded for the children for annotating on the file. So this is a question paper that was taken from the net and shared with the children. So I didn't want the children to actually use a different page, so that I made them the option of annotation. So this is how you are going to receive the file back once the children have annotated on it. Thank you very much, Mrs. Savlani. So do you see, there is no jhanjat here. The child just sees the answer and then circles whichever answer the child feels is right. And it becomes very easy for you to correct than an OMR sheet, because I know how much of a difficulty we faced in term one correcting the OMR sheets of children, making them understand where to shade, where not to shade, so I don't want to put myself into such a difficult situation. So I just put up the question paper and I said, circle around whichever is the right answer. So there is no discrepancy whether the child has circled A or B or C or D. It's very clear the answer the child has chosen. So it becomes much easier. Now, once the child has done this and submitted back to you, you now can annotate on this to say whether it is right or wrong. I'm so sorry, this is not coming out good. So I'm going to pick up on the pen and I'm going to say tick, put tick. I'm sorry, it's my pen is moving a little, but you saw how good the ticks were when I was doing it in a better way. So you can do it, you can submit it to, now it comes out good because I was not holding it in the right way. So you see, you can annotate, leave a comment over here. Now, one more thing that I would like to show here for you friends is when you are leaving a comment to the child. I told you yesterday that you can add media files as your comments. So you can see over here, add a comment. The comment could be for a particular file like this, where it is an annotated file. The comment could be simply, you can attach the solution. You can see here, you want the particular child to take up the solution. You can attach it as a file, or you can see here, media comment. You want a more personal touch in your comment. So you can record, you have to allow Canvas to use your microphone and video. So you can record the media. Now, as you see, you are not seeing me because my video is already on, switched on in Zoom. So if I'm going to switch off my video on Zoom, then you begin to see me over here using the webcam. Okay, I'll just give a minute before. Yes, you can see me here now, right? So you can record your comment for your child. You are extremely happy that the child has, worked really hard to do that particular assignment of yours. Maybe it is an assignment where they did a video, they took an interview. You want to give a personal touch to your comment, you can record and submit your comment. So you can do that. You can start recording maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds feedback. Particularly some children are so happy when the teacher is, taking care the way in which the feedback is given. You would have attended webinars where the importance of positive feedback is actually talked about. So in a different way, you can send a recording as a feedback, or you can simply send an audio file. You can see here, you don't want a video, but you want a very another way of sending it only in the form of an audio. You want to explain something, then you can record your voice and send it as a comment. So comment, feedback, because feedback is very important. Once a teacher finishes her annotation and correction, can the student still make changes to their answers? No, they cannot, because once one submission is being made, if you have limited the responses to only one submission, the child would not be able to open it once again. The child would not be able to access his submission again. But if you have limited your, if you have given couple of, submissions, maybe 2 submissions, 3 submissions, then the child would be able to make it. PDF file cannot make. Mrs. Rajagopalan, I'm not understanding your statement.
Good evening, ma'am. Because
Yes,
PDF
please.
file, we cannot make the kind of changes whatever we want.
No,
Once
we
submit-
cannot make any changes. What changes do you want to do?
We sending them back. The students after that PDF file, they cannot change. Nobody can change it.
Yes,
Then
yes.
we have to go with the converter and other formalities to proceed it.
Yes. Are you telling me or are you asking me? I'm so sorry. I'm still not able to, connect to what you are trying to say.
No, ma'am. There was a message in that stating that the students can change or not.
Okay,
No, we
okay. So
cannot.
you are answering to them.
Exactly, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Rajagopalan. Thank you so much. Yes, corrections, Mrs. Rao. That is what she is trying to tell us. Yes, they cannot re-annotate or change. As I said, I will be talking about the student side also. Once you annotate and submit your feedback, the children have an option of viewing feedback. When they open the view feedback option, they will see what you have annotated on the particular file. So Mrs. Gopi is asking, can we export documents from Google Drive to correct it or annotate it? On Canvas, Mrs. Gopi? Mrs. Gopi?
Yes, ma'am.
On Canvas, they will give you the link, assuming they have given you a Google Drive link. You have given them the option of attaching links also. So from that link, you can open it and again annotate on that, provided it is a PDF file and not a document or any other file.
Okay, fine, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
so that is how you are going to use the annotate option over here. So children would have seen the entire file and they would annotate, and once they submit, you will be in a position to see it. So this is how it can be taken up from your children. So that's one way of taking your assignments. I'll give a
From
break.
the Google Drive.
Sorry, come again, please.
From the Google Drive, we will be able to export it and we can correct it over there.
Correct. You will pick it up from their link. You will give them the option of uploading the link. From the link, you are going to take it and you are going to do your corrections.
Fine,
right?
fine. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So annotations and assignments submitted in the form of PDFs can be corrected by you under assignments. Now, one more most important thing that Canvas has, of course, it is available on other other classroom applications that you are using, is the addition of a rubric to your assignment. CBSE is now insisting on rubrics for every projects, activities, and assignments that we are giving our children, so that the evaluation is uniform. Even unintentionally, we are not going to be biased in evaluating our children. That is the motive of setting up a rubric, and it makes our life much easier because you are very clear on how you are going to split up your 10 marks or 5 marks for the assignment. So I'm going to show you how you are going to do this rubric. It is the same format on Google Classroom also. I'm not familiar with Teams. Sorry, somebody can pitch in to tell us if it is the same format in Teams also. So I'm going to show you. Suppose if the assignment is, let's say, maybe structure of or drawing. The assignment will be submit a neatly labeled diagram of the reproduction in Hydra. I'm just picking up one biology question over here. And so the title is going to be, what is the title for your for your rubric? So it is going to be the title of your assignment. So it is going to be diagram of Hydra. And what are you going to make different criteria? So the first description, because it is going to be a drawing, as a biology teacher, as a science teacher, as a social science teacher, or even an English teacher who would like a particular drawing for the advertisement or any information in the newspaper, the most important thing is the presentation or the neatness. So what do you want? I want presentation to be my condition. So would you want it to be in the form of a range? Do you want it 1 to 3 marks for this, or you want to fix marks? So I don't want a range. So I'm going to go into 5 points. So what is going to be 5 points? 5 points is going to be very well, presented diagram. Yeah, very neatly presented diagram. That's up to you. You are the one who is going to
neatly and labeled diagram, I presume.
Very neatly
and labeled diagram.
Drawn and labeled. Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be my description.
Precise.
Thank you very much. That is the title. If you want, you can describe. Now let's understand one thing, friends. Rubric is more for, less for us and more for the child to know how the teacher expects him or her to present. When we know the expectations, then we are going to do it as per the expectations. When we are unaware of what is being expected of us, then we end up doing so many things and we feel bad. I did so much, but I was not rewarded. Maybe I did not meet the expectations, but when I know what is being expected and when I fall short of the expectation, at least I know that I fell short here and that is why I was not rewarded. So it is less important for us, but extremely important for the child, because you make the child know what you expect from the child. So when I say you are going to be given 5 marks for neatly drawn and labeled diagram, that means the child knows he or she is going to present it neatly as well as labeled. Now, if you see, you have only one more option over there, no marks, which you can change. But if you still want to add, you click on it. So 3 points I give, neat, but no labeling. Matlab, the child drew it, but forgot to label it. Though you have given in the instruction that you have to label it, then you update it because you are giving 3 points. The child has done an excellent job of drawing it, but forgot to label it. Now here, if you want, you can say no labeling, or maybe wrong labeling, or maybe inappropriate labeling. Instead of right hand side, the child has labeled on the left hand side, or all around the figure, the child has labeled the hydra. We science teachers insist that all the labeling should be on the right hand side. So something like that. You want to describe it, please describe it to your child. And then I again add, I'm not going to give 0 for any child who has submitted. At the end of the day, we say, at least the child has made an attempt to submit. So that has to be appreciated over there. So let's say I give him 1 mark.
Submit, and they may draw something, Hema, also.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, may not be to perfection, but definitely.
Yes, but you should still, reward the child, because
yes, reward the
it
child.
is much better than a child who has not made an
Goes
attempt to submit
unrewarded.
at all.
Very true.
Right?
It's a incentive.
Yes, absolutely right. So let's at least award them. At this juncture, I would like to share one point with all of you. During the pandemic time, there was one, small, I should say, anecdote that was being circulated on the social media. Like, there is a country where if you just attempt the test, matlab you are there for the exam, you present yourself for the exam, no matter you write answers or no, you still get 4 marks for each question on the paper. Maybe each question is around 10 marks. You don't attempt it, you still get 4 marks. The education system justifies the 4 marks by saying that the child has made an attempt to bring himself into the exam room and seat himself to face the exam. That has to be appreciated, and that 4 marks is awarded for that.
Interesting.
And that's the education system there.
Where
I do
is
not
this
know if we would
interesting?
reach such a stage. And if that
Finland.
statement, I do not know if that would be taken in the right sense by children.
Yes.
So let's move on. Finland. Thank you very much, Mrs. Balaji, for that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just put over here a mere submission. Okay. I'm just putting some criteria over here, friends. You can change it accordingly. So now this is one thing. And in my rubric, I always add another condition. That is, I'm going to add a new criterion, and that is going to be date of submission or submission time, because more than science and mathematics and social science, one of the most important quality that I would like to inculcate in my children is understanding the value of time. Somewhere I agree, all of us would, I believe all of us would agree that our children do not value time. You all would have noticed it during your classes online, where they will enter late or they may not enter, they wail away their time more. So time's essence has to be learned by children. There should be a condition that is going to encourage children to do their work in time, or at least on time, and definitely not a late submission. So date of submission, maybe I give 5 marks for in time submission. I'm going to say in time. In time is maybe before the submission time, and I add 3 points for maybe a day delayed, they still made it, and 0, maybe you can say more than a couple of days delayed. I'm not going to award that particular 5 marks. The 5 marks will be for his work, but for the submission he gets a 0, because he or she need to understand that time is of essence. Now this is how you are going to create a rubric. You can keep adding your criterion depending on your assignment or your activity or your project. If it is a video based project, you can add accordingly. If it is a drawing based project, accordingly. Written project, accordingly. Podcast, accordingly. Now you can see a few options down. You do not want to use a rubric. You are going to use comments. You are going to write a comment for your child. Then you click on this. You can see there are no numbers that are coming up. It is not going to be automatically assigned. You're not able to click on it. Rather, you're going to write over here, and you are going to give points. Whether you are going to put a 3, I'm going to say over here. Okay, I'm going to say you. Okay, this I can do only when I'm going to do the correction and not when I'm doing here. So when you are starting to do the correction, the rubric will open up, and this area will be available for you to type your comments and then give your marks. If you want to do that, you can do it, or you can just click on 5 points, click on 3 points, and the points get added up. And you do not want any rubric on your system. So you can see here, you will only give the comments, you're not giving any marks. Okay. So you're not going to be giving any points for it. Then you say remove points. If you do not want the outcome to be showing on your grade book, I will discuss about grade book when we finish quizzes. And then hide the total from students. You don't want the students to know the total. You want to discuss with them on a later date, and then you proceed with it. So you create a rubric and you attach with your assignment. Make sure you attach a rubric with every assignment. It makes things easier for both you and your students. Now on the right hand side, you see find a rubric. Now what is this? When you are free, maybe you are creating rubrics for various type of assignments, then you can store it. I'm going to show you over here, just above quizzes on your navigation button side, you have rubrics. There you can create rubrics and keep, and you can select one of the rubrics from there. Now I do not have any rubric. So you can see here, this is what I'm creating now. You can see this is something else that I've already created for my demo group earlier. So you can see the number of questions attempted, submission date. So I've made up a rubric. So you can add this rubric to your assignment. So if you are going to have similar type of assignments coming up, you can use the already created rubric. So that's all about assignments, how to post assignments, how to create, correct your assignments, how to collect your assignments, and how you can add a rubric to your assignment. I'm going to pause for 60 seconds, take a breath. If at all you have any queries regarding assignments, kindly let me know. I hope we are all there.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we are there. We are there very
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much, ladies. I'm not getting any doubts coming in over here. So I'm going back to my assignment page. I'm my new Canvas account that I have created, and I'm moving into quizzes. Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Rao. Now, this is the most, I love this feature on Canvas. Now, why do I love this? Is because I can time my quiz. I don't have to be waiting to activate the quiz once I have set up my quiz. And I'm not worried about whether my child is being sincere in attempting the quiz. Canvas makes sure to take care of the time. Canvas makes sure to activate when the child logs into the test. Canvas makes sure to proctor the child when the child logs in for the test. Of course, there is a few drawback in the proctoring, but at least I know that the child is honest in picking up the paper while writing the test. So I'm going to show you all these features on the quiz format, which will come in extremely handy for most of us. So I went into the quizzes. You saw how I went in. I'm so sorry, in my enthusiasm, I think I did not talk about that. On the navigation page, I have quizzes. I went on to the quiz and I simply clicked on add quiz. So let me delete this so that I show it once again to you. I went to quizzes and I moved into add quiz. So add a quiz. So initially it is self-explanatory. You are going to give a demo quiz for me now. If you want to add any instruction, this is not the place where you are putting in your questions. This is only your instructions. So whatever is the instruction that you want your child to know, maybe, in our term 1 exam, initially there were a lot of instructions that are given. All those instructions, you will have section A, section B, section C. You will have so many questions. Choose one question, choose one answer. Whatever you would like to put in as instruction, you can add it. And here comes the place where you start to work on the quiz. What is going to be the quiz? Are you taking a survey from your children? Are you taking a quiz, which is going to be an assessment? Is it going to be a practice quiz? When you choose practice quiz, friends, it wouldn't enter your child's grade book. It will be graded, but it will not enter the grade book because it is a practice quiz. Is it going to be a graded survey? It is going to be an ungraded survey. So it's up to you. I am going to make a graded quiz now. The assignment group is always assignments because quiz comes under assignments. If you pick up a survey, it does not come under assignments. Now, what do you want your quiz? How do you want your quiz to be? This is an option that is available on other quiz platforms also. Shuffle answers. When I say shuffle answers, no two children will have, I may not say no two children. The same set of A, B, C, D will not go to the same, to the children, right? One child may have A, B, C, D. The other child will have B, C, D, A. The order in which you give your options will change. And please remember, you are not going to put option A, option B, option C. You will give only 4 options. Canvas will choose which will be the first option and the second option for the child. So you don't have to worry, oh, what will happen if the child sees B, C, D, A, or if the child will see C, D, B, A. No, the child will always see A, B, C, D. You will only feed 4 options. You are not going to say option A is this, option B is this. We will see that when we are going to do the quiz. Now then we move on to time limit. Time limit is going to be given in minutes. So let's say I give 10 minutes to my child. So when I say 10 minutes, anytime the child opens the quiz, as long as you have kept it open. So you say from today morning 7:30 to afternoon 12 o'clock, the quiz will be open because it is an asynchronous mode. So anytime you are available during that duration, you can pick up the quiz and answer it. So the moment the child opens the quiz, the clock starts ticking down, and exactly at the 0th minute, the quiz will auto-submit. Now, when the quiz gets auto-submitted, please inform your students that whatever is the answer that the child has already selected gets submitted. It does not because there are some of the tools where when it gets auto-submitted, none of the answers get saved. So it doesn't happen so on Canvas. Suppose the child is on the 25th question, and the child did not attempt the 25th question, 24 question tak he or she has already selected the answer. Whatever the child has selected gets saved and is being able to, the teacher is able to see the answers selected. Again, allow multiple attempts. You want your child to do the test again and again and again till the child gets the right answer. Then you can choose for multiple attempts. In that, what do you want? You want to keep the highest score, you want to keep the latest score, or you want to keep the average score of the child. You can do it. How many attempts you are going to give? 2 attempts, 1 attempt. Once you give the attempts, suppose if I say 2, you can see self-explanatory options coming down. When you are going to ask them to redo it, you don't want them to see the answers after the first attempt. So accordingly, choose these. You don't want them to see it after their first attempt. You want them to see it after the last attempt. Now, because you have given a time duration, suppose you say till 12 o'clock, anybody can attempt the test. So you don't want the child to see the answers. Maybe some child answers the quiz at 7:30 in the morning, and you allow the child to see the answers immediately after submission. Then there is no point. The child might, there they collaborate very well. So some bright heads will say, okay, you can attempt it in the morning. Once you get to see your answers, you let us know later, we will attempt. So don't give them a chance. You say final answers will be released only after 11 a.m. You can see here, show correct answers at. When do you want them to see the correct answers? You fix your time. It's so teacher friendly that you can play with this quiz feature. Okay, show one question at a time. You do not want the child to see the entire question paper at the same time. Then you say show. That means on the screen at a time, the child will be able to see only one question. But there is one drawback in this is, friends, please note, if you are choosing this option, make sure that your surrounding, your area has a very good network and bandwidth, because at times what happens is the child will click the question next. They have 2 options, next and previous. When they click on the next, and if their bandwidth is poor, the screen keeps rotating, but the time keeps ticking. So that's a disadvantage for the child. Unless you are extremely sure that the bandwidth of the child is going to be good, kindly do not choose show one question. Let all the questions be seen at one go, and the child keeps selecting the answer. And you can restrict your quiz. In your class, you give a quiz code, and unless they feed the code, they wouldn't be able to answer the quiz, even though they may be a course student in your class. Unless you are going to give a code, so if you say you have to put a code over there and you have to share it with your children. Some of my colleagues who are in the room now will understand this, who use a tool called Think Merit for our exams. So you all know that when only a specific group of children are writing the exam, we give a class code. Only if they feed that code, they will be able to open the paper. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to access the paper. And this particular part where my cursor is hovering now, we saw it yesterday for assignment itself. Who should take the quiz? When should they take? I mean, due, when? Due, we don't give for quiz. Available from and until. You give a time from when to when. Before that, the child will not be able to see. It will be locked. After that, the child will not be able to see. It will get locked. So this is how you are going to set your quiz. So this is a graded quiz with 10 minutes. I haven't picked much of these. I just say save and publish. Unless you publish, you're not able, your child will not be able to see. So be very careful in publishing it. The moment you publish, your child's dashboard will get the quiz. And if at all you have not fixed any timing for it, you missed fixing the timing, that means the child will immediately be able to open the quiz also. So I would prefer you always keep it unpublished. And when the moment comes, you publish it. Now I show you how you feed in your questions, before which I will give another 60 seconds break. If you were able to understand the cover page of the quiz, and then I move on to questions. Any queries, friends? Okay, in a class, we tell our children, there are two cases under which the child gets no doubt. Either the teacher was extremely clear, or the teacher was so dash, 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 that the child has no doubts. I pray I'm not in the second category.
No, Hema, you're very, very clear.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Rao. Thank you very much, Mrs. Manes and Mr. Kumar. So I'm going into questions. So you come to questions, friends. You can see there are three options down there: a new question group, and find questions. Now, the third option, that is find questions, is possible if and only if you have created a question bank for yourself on Canvas. So now we do not have a question bank. Mrs. D'Souza, thank you very much for joining today. I hope you are following us today. Thanks for being here. A new question group is you want to, again, pick up from an already existing group. I'm not going to do all that now. I'm going to only teach you the basic. So I went in to add a new question. I'm going to show it one more time. I went to edit. I went to questions, and I simply said new question. Now, another beautiful thing, again, I'm making a comparison between one of the most commonly used, yes, thank you very much, Mrs. Gopi. One of the most commonly used application, that's Google Forms for quiz. If you see, Google Form does not allow partial marking. You cannot give half a mark or 3/4 in Google Forms. Google Forms cannot be typed. I put it on record that I'm in no way advocating against the Google tools, because I know there are many Google certified educators sitting over here. I'm only saying how this is a bit advanced in some of the features. You all are aware by now that digital apps, the advanced, the better. We don't want to go back and try our hands on a less advanced app. So this is a little more advanced with its options than the other one. So I'm going to show you in what way. You have multiple choice questions, true or false, fill in the blanks, fill in multiple blanks. You can see here matching, numerical answers, essay questions, file upload, and text. Now this text is one of the option that is again missing in Google Forms. Like in Google Forms, particularly language teachers, if you want to add a comprehension, Google Forms, there is no option for adding a comprehension. So what my teachers generally do is they separately create a section for it. And in the section description, they will put the comprehension which is to be read by the child. The drawback over there is you cannot adjust the font size, you cannot underline there, you cannot bold the letters, you cannot change the text font, nothing can be changed. But everything can be done here. When I say text and no question, that means it is not a question, it is only going to carry a comprehension, something that you want them to read. It is not going to be anything related to any, maybe the following questions, you want them to read the previous comprehension. File upload is something similar to Google Drive, Google Form, where when you say file upload, that particular question, the child can upload a file. Essay question is like paragraph question. Formula question and numerical answer is for mathematics teachers, but I would please request you not to use it because it gives a range. And if the child is not going to fix his or her answer within the range, that means Canvas is not going to pick it up. Matching, multiple drop downs, all these are something that is very familiar to all of you. So I'm going to straight away go into the multiple choice part. Now here again, another added feature over Google Forms is you can simply copy paste anything over here, including an image based question, right? I'm again going to go to one of my pre-made courses, and I'm going to show you some of the quizzes that have already been created so that you see what type of images can be added, what type of so I'm going to pick up some okay, I'm going to go to the preview. So you can see here how this is a single page question. So you can see here that only one question is being seen here. And you can, physics teachers, chemistry teachers, mathematics teachers, you can see here. One of the beautiful thing is the inbuilt equation editor. So your answers can be in the form of formulae, which is not possible on Google Forms quizzes. Usme difficulty aati hai when you have to put in your formulae. It can be changed with the help of word paint. Do all the changes and save as picture and upload it in the Google form. Mrs. Sagar, what is it that you are mentioning about?
Imaji, good afternoon. I was
Okay,
talking about
namaste.
Google Form. Google Form, you said, so I'm just giving an idea that we used to take it to Word Paint, and then we used to do all those editions, and then we used to save it as picture and then upload. For
Upload
the
what? The comprehension. That is double work, na? As if we are free with our time. Any minute, any minute that I can save, I would love to save. Extremely lengthy process. I don't want to do it. Just copy paste, select bold, select underline. That's easier for me, isn't it, Mrs. Sagar?
Yes,
Mrs. Sagar,
yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to give you some easy solution, and you want to go back to something that's
Yes, Hema, quick fix solutions.
Yeah, absolutely right. Something that is easier for us. That's what we would love to pick it up. So you can see here how complex equations I have actually put in over here. It's just an equation editor. And let me tell you, friends, if you have this writing pad, it becomes even easier. You just write it and it gets converted into the equation. I hope most of the maths teachers are actually using it, particularly in MS Word. I'm trying to pick up a question where I have put an image, and unfortunately, I'm not reaching a question where I have an image. I'm so sorry about it. I'll just take a minute, teachers. No, I'm not finding questions.
No issues, you can.
Because images can also be picked up, and you can, got it. So you can see here, this is not like you save the image onto your desktop and then you say go to image, you copy, you say upload the image, you upload the image. No grammar like that. In our side in Lagos here, grammar money, something that is taking a long time. or something that is wasting our time. That's grammar over here. Please, language teachers, do not take any offense. We don't do such longer process over here. You just copy the image, Control V, the image gets pasted onto your screen. So it becomes quite easier for you to add images to your questions also. And it is easily viewed by your students. So just to show you this, I shared this. So you come over here and you can see there are multiple options that you can pick. So suppose I say, okay, somebody is questioning me. Yes, yes, thank you very much, Mrs. Gopi. So here I say vector is an answer. Here I say scalar is an answer. Here I say vector or scalar. And I say here vector and scalar. You know, CBSE says your answers have to be very close to each other so that you confuse the child whether he or she has to pick A or B. But remember, teachers, you have the right to confuse your child if and only if you have been clear in the class. Otherwise, poor child, you wouldn't be able to understand anything. So make sure that you are very particular in the class to explain the concept so that the child is very confident in picking his or her choice. Now, the question comes when we introduce Canvas to teachers is, should I always put my first option as the right option? Because you can see here, the correct answer is pointing to the first option. So please, no. Assuming you have picked 4 options, your third option is the right option. Just move your cursor to the third answer, click on it. That becomes the correct answer for Canvas. I hope I am clear. And again, you can see there is no A, B, C, D. Canvas decides which is going to be A for the child. But whichever is A, B, or C for the child, vector or scalar chosen by the child will be awarded the right answer. Am I making some sense?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
True.
good. Now for each of these answers, you see 3 dots. That is where you are going to write your feedback if the child picks that answer. So suppose this is the right answer that the child has picked. You know, again, here you can add a, you know, maybe a GIF where somebody is dancing because the child has picked up the right answer. You know, you create an interest in the child to do the quiz, not the old, you know, drabby quiz where you just keep picking the answers. Yes, 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 you submit, your score is 9 out of 10. No jubilation, no celebration. So make it more interesting for the child. You want to insert an image where there is a boy who is jumping up, where there is confetti falling on the child because the child has picked up the right answer. Or you say, very well done, beta, you made it. Move on to the next question. Create your feedback for the child and you simply say done. And that becomes what the child sees. Okay, a crown. Yes, Mrs. Gopi. And what if the child picks this answer? You know, poor child, he or she is a little confused. He picked up vector and not vector or scalar. So you say, never mind, maybe you want to boost
We can
him
say
up.
well tried also.
Yes, well tried. Or you can give, maybe you had this in your mind and that's why you went wrong. But this question has to be approached in this way. Then you will see the right answer. It's endless. So it is you who is giving the feedback. So every answer can be given a feedback so that when the child, better luck next time. Yes. So when the child submits his paper and when the answers are available for him, he sees the answer along with your feedback. Once you are done with the question, if you want to give 6 options, you want to give 10 options, you want to give only 2 options, it's a true or false question, delete the option. You have only 3 options now. You don't even want 3 options, you want only 2 options. Delete the option. You will have only 2 options. So however you want, you can play with it. Right now, where are you going to insert your equation from? You can see here, you can insert an equation using the equation editor. You can add a link as a question. You can add a video as a question. you watch this video and answer the following questions, so it's you who's making the question. I'm going to just type A, B, C, D. This is my question. I have put 2 answers and I say update question. Every time you add a question, you update the question, otherwise it doesn't get saved. So you want to see the question details, you can see here vector or scalar. Scalar is the answer. You keep and I missed to say that. How am I going to add my points? Under points, you can even say 0.5. Or it's a very, very simple question. The child is simply going to say yes or no. I want to give only 1/4, though we don't have 1/4 in CBSE now. But still, this is just a practice test that you are giving them. So you can add 0.25. Aapki marzi. You name it. You decide it and you are going to fix the point for the child. So I'm going to do it and I say update question. Don't forget to update your question. So I have updated 10 questions you have added and save and publish the quiz. Again, you don't want it to be published, I unpublish it. So when the test is available, so test ho gaya aapka, time fix, you have fixed the time, you have fixed the questions. How is Canvas going to proctor it? How do you know that Canvas proctored it? I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to show you something. Let me go back to my grades. How is it being proctored? So let me go. I do not remember some of the tests. So let's go here and see if I can find what I'm looking for. So let's say, are you seeing on my screen, friends? All these tests are closed. Do you see? Closed, closed, closed. Some of them are still open. Closed. What is the meaning of closed? That means though the children will be able to see it on their dashboard, they wouldn't be able to access it. I have closed it for them. They have already answered it. So it's not going to be available for them. Now, how am I
going to say, Hema, those small shooter marks are indicators?
Yes, that it is
green
closed.
Ones. Okay.
Yes, they are closed. They wouldn't be able to access it. Yes, that's
Why with the
absolutely
slashes
right.
You cannot see it, I presume?
Yes, you cannot see it. You can see here it was available only until 30th December 2:40. So beyond that, they wouldn't be able to see it. Now, you can see 2 options here. One is moderate this quiz and speed grader. Now, what is moderate this quiz? When the quiz is happening, when you have opened the quiz, right? When you open it, you will actually see who are the children who have logged in. How much time have they been on the test? You can see here, time. The time will show if you have given 10 minutes. So the countdown will be seen here, which is another added feature in Canvas, because in Google Forms, till the children submit it, you do not know how many children have opened the form. How many respondents are working on the form? Would you know it? Unless you start getting the responses, you do not know. You may have 23 children sitting in front of you in the class in Zoom. But when the submissions come, you will see there will be 30 submissions. Have you faced it, teachers? I will have.
Sorry, can you come again? Where did you get this sheet?
Moderate the quiz. Moderate the quiz.
Okay.
Okay, so when I go here, there is moderate this quiz.
Okay, right.
So I think some of you would have faced this. You will have less number of children in the online class, but the submissions in the Google form will be more than that. That's because it is ye dosti between our children. They will send to their friends who are sitting in the class to submit the forms, because you do not know that the child has started to attempt it unless you see their submission. But here, the moment the child opens the test, the time comes in red in front of you here, and the time starts going down. So you know that this child has opened the test and the child is attempting the test. Yes, Mrs. Gopi, actually, when I go to the classrooms, I say sharing is not caring. You cannot share your textbooks because you are making your friend lazy for not bringing his textbook the other day. So And somehow when you do not share your
True.
answers, you know,
Practically seen, yes. Practically.
so you get to know that your child has actually started attempting the paper. Now, how do you know that the child, this or that child, you know, how is Canvas proctoring? I would like to show you that. So let me just click on one of the child here. Okay, I'm going to pick up some other log. Okay, sorry, teachers. I should have kept it open, but somehow. Okay, I'm going to go back to moderate this quiz. So you can see here, this is a quiz that has been taken by the children. So I had given 20 minutes for finishing the test. The children had taken the test. You can see finished in 11 minutes, 18 minutes, 9 minutes. You can see how much time the child has taken, in how many attempts they finished it, what is the mark that they have scored, everything you see here. So for just to see how the child was during the test, when you click on the child's name, you see view log. Do you see this? Are you able to see it on my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you
Yes.
click on this view log, so okay, you can see here what time the child saw the 10th question, what time the child saw the 13th question,
Interesting.
and there are no
details.
red, yeah, and there are no red marks. Do you see here? I would like to compare two of it. Just see this child's log. You are seeing the time. I mean, if it is 20 minutes, it starts from 00 seconds. The session has started. In the 11th second, the child answered the first question. 20th second, second question. 4th minute, answered the 8th question. So the entire log is available. Whereas I would like to show, so this is a child who has been very sincere,
Perfect.
not leaving the page. I will show you how it would look like if it is going, if the child has left the page. So I hope I would find something over here. Hopefully, let's see. You see here?
Yes.
You see a red mark. Stop
Yes, yes.
viewing the Canvas quiz taking page. Right?
Yes.
So that means the child has moved out of the tab. Okay. Maybe that was something to answer me, but you can see immediately he has resumed.
Yeah.
Right? 11th second, the child stopped. The same 11th second, the child has resumed. But if it is not so, wherever you see this cross mark, that means the tab has been changed. And it will show you for how long. So it will show you when the tab was changed and when the child came back to Canvas. So obviously, if it is going to be 30 seconds delayed, 1 minute delayed, you know why the child would have changed the tab. This is one beautiful feature that you get to see in Canvas, where you are free.
Yes,
Children
and you can track.
Yeah, you can track what the child is actually doing.
Yes.
Teachers, please. I should not actually be sharing it in this manner because I can see some of my children's names that are coming up
Yeah,
on the
true.
screen, which I should not.
But rest assured, it is in
Yes, thank
total
you
privacy.
very much. Not to take in any manner. I just showed one small example to you how Canvas proctors your students. But let me tell you, friends, if your children are allowed by their parents to sit for their tests with a double device, if the child has a laptop and a mobile, nobody can find out if the child is going to be picking up the answers from elsewhere, because as far as the laptop is concerned, the screen will be that of Canvas. So Canvas does not know. Canvas only knows if it changes tab. The child will still be on the same tab, but answers will be seen on a mobile phone in the hand.
Yes, I presume that's the price we pay for an online.
Yes, so
yes.
That is one thing. The only thing we can do is we can continuously request our parents to
Yes,
make
to be
sure that
honest.
the children do not sit with a second device with them.
True.
So this is how
Ma'am,
you are.
excuse me, ma'am. If the other person is going to mute, I believe it will be a coincidence for us. If true, yes, and I'm not able to listen to you.
Oh, is it?
Yes, ma'am. The other person, please kindly mute yourself, ma'am.
Okay, can you, did you have this difficulty before, not hearing me?
Not you. Yes, ma'am. When you're speaking, there is some other person who says yes, true, certain
Oh.
things. I don't even know who that is. Like, please mute yourself, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. It is just an interaction over there. So this is about the quiz feature, where you can use the timing feature, you can use the proctoring feature, and any kind of attachments can be made with the quiz. And the quiz can be for a particular duration, you can keep it open. But if you fix a time of X minutes, only that much time will be allowed for the child to access the quiz. So we have seen all that can be added to a module. So module may you can add documents, you can even add a quiz here. So I will just show you. You can go here and add a quiz. You can create a quiz, again, a demo quiz, and I'm going to add the quiz. Once I add the quiz, then you can start editing it for it to be on the module. So you can keep it unpublished. And when the day comes, you can publish your quiz for your children to attempt it. So we are, I have again overshot the time for today's workshop, but I wanted to finish off with this so that tomorrow we go into the communication and collaboration part of Canvas, where we can pick up, sources from various teaching community all around the world. So that is what we are going to pick up and try and finish off with the basics of Canvas tomorrow. And tomorrow we will have a last 10-15 minutes as our QA session. So if at all you have tried something and you have had difficulty executing it, we will try and answer those tomorrow. Thank you very much, ladies, for patiently staying with me today. Again, for a longer time, actually, today we have overshot by 15-20 minutes, and sorry for that. Yes, today's recording link is on the is shared in the group. So if you click on that YouTube link, I've shared it in the morning today. So if you click on that link, you are going to see today's recording. So you can just go back through it and you can try creating various different, you can create one quiz in which you can try putting different question types and try adding images, adding equations, adding comprehensions, adding videos. Try all possible things between today and tomorrow if you have time, and get back to me with your doubts tomorrow. Yesterday's recording YouTube is in yesterday's invite. You can see the YouTube link there, and you can see yesterday and today's recording. They are two different YouTube links. Once again, thanks a lot, ladies, for being with me. I wouldn't be taking more of your time. Enjoy your holy evening. And I wish you all the goodness for you and your family and your loved ones.